should be good. So we got Trat, DT, Yerand, and El Capitan.
Other than El Capitan, this is a very skilled group of players.
I'm sure he can sneak through if he wants to.
I don't know, the only times I've seen him play is when he's ruined my games. Hello everyone, this is me GameSlide99 aka No Brainer, and welcome to King Morgan's stream. Hello King Morgan.
Hello. Phil's being a bit mean on this map. Doesn't look very good, does it?
Now we have El Capitan, Trat, Yerand, and DT, some very strong players potentially on an awkward map. A lot of ice.
Yeah, so water will be fine, but there's not a huge amount of steel production. Well, there's 3 patches maybe. You wouldn't want to go for Nomad, would you? And, well, Elites.
Yeah, so
Could
every
work.
game I've seen today so far has had Nomads, Elite, and Scavenger as an option. Is this just a coincidence, or have you guys been really wanting this now?
There was talk about using less expansives, because too many expansives, but every game all the maps I've done, I always tried to include Elites, just to encourage people to play them.
Well, no one went into the Nomad to be expected. The Silicon wasn't great. There could have been an Elite there, but they decided not to be. Yaren going with the power play at the very start of the game. Circuit Overload is available. I'm a bit worried about that.
He needs to get some goon squads down there, doesn't he? Pretty sharpish, but I don't know, power doesn't seem to be massively strong. Power colonies though, so I suppose he's hoping it's going to grow. He'll be able to get an edge over everybody else. As soon as some steel mills come down, I bet it'll shoot up a bit.
Alright, Yaren already has his Goon Squad up, so yeah, that's fine. It's just going to take a long time for him to be able to upgrade, but he will eventually upgrade. Lucky for him, we do have everyone else also into steel. But actually, no, DT is not in steel. He is an elite who has gone for the farms and the water.
Yeah, he's got food elites, which pretty interesting.
I mean, it works. Farms were very high at the very start of this game, and glass was not.
Yeah, he's in a good position. I think he should make HU level 3 pretty easily.
I mean, if he can survive, he's only up against 3 robots.
Yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? Can he get over the humps? I mean, he's going to have to get into power at some point.
One of those ways that an elite can really get over that hump is with a pleasure dome, but 3 robots, the pleasure dome is not going to be all that valuable, unfortunately.
No, it's going to be lousy for him. And perhaps.
Especially with Chem's High. Chem's High is the worst thing when you're an elite, seriously.
Yeah, you want those nice cheap chems, don't you? Well, it just gives DT another market to move into, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, Evil Trat already trying to stop DT because he realizes that DT has already run away with a lot of this game so far. He's already got to HU3 first. Impressive, but his source of steel is going to run out soon because everyone's in 2 except for him.
Yeah, steel is going to be rising in price pretty significantly, I think. The robots are barely creating enough for themselves, let alone enough to subsidise DT, so I don't know, he could get a hacker array out, couldn't he? Start surplusing.
Yeah, and also a hacker array surplusing steel kind of cripples robots a bit. It's a very scary thing to do sometimes. If you've got a lot of robots against you, because that's where they make all their money.
Yeah, oh definitely, yeah. If you can keep the price of steel low, then the robots are really going to suffer. Because, well, Trat's decided to go into some reactors, which pretty good move. They're going to be reasonably profitable for him. Hello?
New claim is available for option.
We lost Game Slayer. Oh dear. No, he's still here somewhere, hopefully. It's a claim auction. Trats 8k, that's far too cheap for a claim auction. DT steps in. Let's have a look, let's see what El Capitan's up to. Bit of steel, geothermal plants, bring some water in, quite a long track for his water to come in, so it's going to be pretty expensive for him.
Well, Morgan, I've introduced the players. Good luck, you're on your own now, buddy.
You've come back, that's good.
No, I can't, unfortunately. I can't get into the actual game anymore, unfortunately, so.
Oh, yeah, well, sorry about that. Never mind.
Good luck.
Cheers, buddy. Catch you later. So 32k for a claim, that seems pretty high. Trat's going to have to watch himself, I think, on that one. His debts, it's not too bad, but I can't see any power for him apart from these 3 wind turbines which are coming down, so
Robotic colony expanded.
hopefully there'll be enough. I mean, Yaran's still making good money out of power. The only person that'll be making power money at the moment. DT wind turbines as well. But still cheap circuit overloads. Need to get the goon squads down. Yaran's into some farms. Pretty much the only thing he really could get into. Should enable him to get into the next HQ. DT with the overloads onto some of Yaran's turbines.
Robotic colony expanded.
Yaran really heavily into power. He's not doing too badly, 300 a second. So it's just ticking in nicely. He should be okay. He's not too far off his upgrades. A little bit more steel, but steel is definitely the problem, and that's shortage on the steel is no good. There will be surpluses. That's going to make it really difficult, especially for DT, who's sitting there, I suppose, making some money, but when he looks at his steel bill, 55k for his steel to upgrade. Not the best situation that you want to be in. Yaran's getting hit. Trat's not too happy with those wind turbines, trying to keep him shut down. Gonna be slow going, I think, for a lot of people. There's Yaran there, HQ4 if he wants it. Trat not too far off. DT, well, quite a way off. Keeping all his money hidden in electronics. The colony obviously kicking up the price,
New land is available for option.
which is not actually hardly any demand for electronics, so DT just ramping it up himself. Interesting tactic, but still, there we go. Ooh, and he's managed to get his upgrades. Potential HQ level 4 for him if he wants it. Man, I think he's going to be struggling. I'd be interested to see which claims he chooses to bring in. What he chooses to do with his claims. He's put his money back into electronics. Obviously waiting for everybody else to buy up their electronics, the robots for the HQ4, but unfortunately Trat's got his. Yaran has used his, he had some in stock. So DT kind of delaying his upgrade perhaps. Needlessly, really. Perhaps he wants to stay at HQ4. At 3, sorry. We shall see. Yaran rotating out of the farms into some chem refineries.
The black market is online.
Was odd. DT, a couple of electrolysis reactors coming down, which is slightly surprising. They don't really seem to be. Fuel is just dead. I think Trat's been obviously selling his down. So hard to see how he's going to make any money off those. Perhaps assuming the price is going to rise because Yaran's got his chem labs down. Couple of chem refineries for himself. Interesting. Not sure I totally agree with that, to be honest, but I'm sure he knows better. Trat, on the other hand, has got a decent amount of steel up and running, making good money off his iron alone. Steel is pretty profitable for him as well. Solar condensers, one chem lab. So everybody wanting to get in on the chemical market, which not too sure how profitable it's going to turn out to be. And Trat having another EMP down on Yaran. Yaran has definitely seen the brunt of Trat's aggression in the black market.
Optimization center is ready. Time to start improving everything.
And Trat's the first to get an optimization center up. And
Correction.
blown up. I can imagine that was DT. Or perhaps Yaran. Oh, Death Tacticus. Hacker Array up for auction. Going to be interesting to see if anybody wants it that much. DT obviously can take the most advantage of it, doing shorts and surpluses at the same time. Depending on how much debt people have got, Trat's 27, I felt that one a little bit cheap. I would like to see that go on for a little bit more money because I think DT is going to get some serious use out of that. There are spies available, so perhaps we'll see somebody get a spy down, and we got steel surplus coming. Look at that, that is a quick. Was that 14 seconds? That's amazing. So, a food shortage, which is going to benefit DT pretty nicely. Got a decent amount of food going, although he has been the victim of a slowdown strike. We've got Patent Lab coming up for El Capitan. El Capitan's been keeping up reasonably well with everybody else. Claims not too bad. Doesn't appear to have any power. Oh, he's got the... Yeah, sorry, he's got his...
Baltic colony expanded.
There it is, geothermal plants. What are we going to see out of that? Nothing at the moment, I don't think.
The patent lab is constructed. Let's get our science on.
Still deciding what he's going to do with that. Price of chems are really quite high, so it's going to be difficult for him to utilise that patent lab fully. He's gone for carbon scrubbing, but what with the slowdown strike on it, it's going to take a little time to get that completed. Trat is first to HQ level 5. Going into a single glass kiln, joined by a second. He does have some silicon coming in, probably got access to about the best silicon around. Yaran has a little one silicon coming in, so they've got some. Not really going to be able to compete for the silicon based sort of glass or electronics that way. Electronics should be okay, but not too great. Trat definitely seems to have the best of the robots at the moment.
Let the bidding begin.
An energy vault up for auction. Not massively useful to anybody, but for 7k it's probably worth a bid. Wouldn't be a bad pickup. One extra power as a sort of battery, so why not? Cheap as you like. Wow, some major work going on. Dynamite, Yerand on DT's Hacker Array, and DT on Trat's
HQ has been upgraded.
Trat's optimization center, so some repairs needed over there, I'm thinking. DT managed to get to HQ level 5, got a lot of money still. Not sure, obviously that food, he's really done well on the food, hacking up the food. Managed to bring steel sort of under control, but wow, Yaran just bought a huge chunk of steel there for his upgrade. Gone into a couple of solar condensers, life support's looking reasonably good. Off-world market looking pretty good as well. Oxygen about the best launch. Food's going to be a fantastic launch if they can bring the price down. Yaran's spreading his claims out quite nicely. Going to go into some farms, so Yaran should be making good money soon. Everybody's got money, but nobody seems to be spending it at the moment. Surprised nobody's got a little bit more aggressive with DT, maybe force him to buy a couple of shares, because he is sitting on a big pile of cash. Going into Pleasure Dome down south.
The pleasure dome is completed. I wonder
Price
what goes on in
manipulation
there.
begins shortly.
252, I suppose, is not to be sneezed at, but expanding his farms as well. Not seen any optimization centers, so immediately we get 2 come down from him, which he's gonna need them. Gonna need to get all his markets all optimized nicely, because he's kind of running out of time. Trat has got a serious amount of cash. Imagine Trat's gonna start hacking at some point or another. He has got his hacker array and he's going for a glass hack, possibly followed up by electronics hack. A little bit surprised nobody else is in electronics. It seems that there's pretty good money to be made. Mule might be useful if it goes cheap. If Trap picks it up for 8k, that's going to be a bargain. Even 10k, you're probably getting your money back. There you go, I imagine that's going to go out on either silicon or aluminium. Or maybe Trap's going to save it for a rainy day. Yerand finally moves into some electronics. He's probably one of the first players to move into the electronics market. And people are getting a little bit worried, a lot of them buying up their own stock. El Capitan manages to nab 1 single share of Yerand.
The engineers have advanced our production.
And has a go at what attracts as well, which kinda seems like you're poking the bear. Plenty of hacks going on. Trat's going to make some good money coming out of his glass. He's decided he's going to buy into Yerans, which is probably not a bad idea. Yerand's making good money. He's just been a little bit slow to get up to HQ5 and get everything down. Most of his things are pretty profitable.
The black market is online.
There we go. Potentially his water production is about the most profitable building he's got running. He's good on power, he's making decent power money, but it's just not... There's no wow factor there, unfortunately. Yeah, electronics, probably about the best. El Capitan, coming along quite nicely. Losing a fair amount on his farms there. Expanding his electronics capability. Not really sure. Got some upgrades going, electronics and water. Yerand has had optimization centers running, although they have been blown up quite a bit. So he's just got the one. Come on, Yerand, this. You can't. Oh, come on. Used to be able to just click between people. Yerand's actually done really well on some of his optimizations. Chems isn't really so good, they probably need to be rotated at some point.
How could one refuse such a wonderful plot of land?
So I'm going to get into some water. Trat suffering from slowdown strikes. Trat firmly in glass and electronics. Not doing too badly with the old reactors at the back here. And DT has pretty much been left alone, at least lately.
Our hackers have compromised the trading servers.
Well, it
Price
is.
manipulation begins shortly. Our hackers have compromised the trading servers. Price manipulation begins shortly.
He's definitely enjoying his time with the hacker array. And managed to get perfect food, he's going to get perfect oxygen. And then perfect glass, which should make him some decent money, but he's going to have to rotate into electronics factories at some point, especially after he's queued all these expensive upgrades up. Trat seems to be firmly locked into a battle with Yerand.
Operation center is ready. Time to start improving everything.
Trat's plenty of optimizations in progress. Got a little bit of power, a little bit of water, a little bit of fuel.
The black market is online.
Kind of surprised electronics hasn't seen a bit more love from him. Getting some of those upgraded would probably have been a good idea. But he's coming along. He seems to be firmly ahead in the race against Yerand. It's going to need 486 to clean up Yerand, whereas Yerand is going to need about 500 to clean up Trat, so Trat halfway there, but a wild card of course it's going to be DT. Food launches look pretty darn good at the moment. For DT to move into a off-world market, which he just did, is pretty pricey, 150k. So hopefully a break even on 2 launches, maybe 3. You're definitely in the profit.
The black market is online.
So if DT can get away with this, then he's not going to be doing too badly.
Successful.
Especially with his perfect food, he's easily going to be able to launch plenty of food, but I got to wonder whether he's going to run out of time. I mean, Tratz is well up on his little spat with Yerand, but of course El Capitan is sitting on a big, huge pile of cash. Has been overloaded, so he's not going to be making a huge amount of power money. He has picked up El Capitan superconductor, which is going to, I think that's probably what's seen him through up until now. High aluminium up for auction, they're quite a way away from anybody. It's not too bad, it's going to make a decent amount of money. I think it's probably well worth DT snapping this up. He's got 100k of debts, so maybe letting it go would have been a little bit better. His off-world market is soon going to be operational. Just the one, though, just the one.
The optimization center is online. Let the planned
El
obsolescence
Capitan, if you wanted to buy Yerand, you're looking at 640. If you want to buy Trat, you're looking at 640. So, possible wildcard here from El Capitan. Trat doesn't seem to have been earning a huge amount of money since we last looked at him. Optimization center doesn't really seem to be doing much. He's got optimization spread around. He's worried, it seems, about his power. Kind of losing a little bit on his power. It's a second pip. So when this is done, he's going to have perfect power production. But again, it's going to take time. And Yerand is still about 100k behind.
Our hackers have compromised the trading servers. Price manipulation begins shortly.
So what do we say? Trat is going to need 520 now. So I know 120k for Trat, which he's basically having to earn by hacking.
The black market is online.
His glass hacks coming through quite nicely. Unfortunately countered by a surplus. So Trat very wisely sells out, but
continue to improve.
still slowly making money. Yerand is, or was, increasing his stockpile a little bit quicker, so it's going to be quite an interesting race here between Yerand and Trat.
Our hackers have compromised the trading servers. Price manipulation begins shortly.
Yerand making excellent money out of his chem labs. Food's a bit iffy for him, but
Optimization routine successful.
he's there trying to power through with his chems. Chems unfortunately being surplus at the moment, so not much money he's actually making, but Trat, I think, is going to come out on top. Yerand's about 82% of the way to Trat. Trat's about 93% of the way into Yarand, so I can imagine Trat's going to snap up Yarand pretty quick. And DT doesn't really appear to be able. Well, the reason DT hasn't got much cash is because of the obscene amount of off-worlds he's built in. If DT now can grab a share, there we go, grab a share of Trat. And food pretty much dead, so every launch DT is going to get is going to make him 68k profit, launching 3 lots.
Continue to improve.
Now,
Off-world shipment launched. Look at all the money.
I think the pendulum has firmly swung back into DT's court. I don't think that even Trat is going to be able to stand against the elite with 3 off-worlds and some pretty decent optimizations.
Our fortune awaits.
Perfect making power money from his perfect power production, perfect food, perfect O2, perfect glass and electronics. DT I think has pretty much got all the markets covered. All he needs to do is rotate his claims around, just make sure he's making the most profitable things at all times, so whichever way the market swings he's got. Trat's putting up an off-world, but too little too late, I'm afraid. El Capitan's also moved into an off-world, but I really don't think you're going to be able to stand against 3 off-worlds. Launches are just so profitable at the moment. But potentially could be a close race, but
Successful.
I really think the elite has managed to drag the game into Sol 10, and I really don't think you can bet against an elite at this point of the game. DT is into his silicon hacks, just going to make a little bit of extra cash while he waits for his off-world markets to launch his way to victory, which I think the victory is probably going to be with the elite unless Trat and El Capitan start working together to take down DT. Trat moves into a second off-worlds.
Look at all the money.
Yep, there it is coming up, but there's some black market effects. Well, DT's just hidden his around, so you can't see them because they're hidden.
Our methods continue to improve.
Off-world shipment Look at all the money. Look at all the money.
Trat has seen the danger of the elite players, try to buy 1 share in, but I don't think
Who caught the dirty rat trying to break our stuff?
he's going to be able to do anything, unfortunately. Certainly he's not going to be able to do anything unless he gets the help of El Capitan, and they both work together to take him down.
The off-world market is finished and awaiting orders.
Otherwise, pretty much, launches are still just ridiculous.
Optimization routine successful.
Off-world shipment launched. Look at all the money.
Running 3, so every 20 seconds, DT's having an off-world launch to make a 60k profit. That was a shame.
The black market is online.
And they get it done. El Capitan manages to buy out the elite. Wow, that I did not see coming, I'll be honest. We did say that El Capitan
Off-world shipment
potentially was a wild card,
Look at all the money.
and he saved his pennies, and Shift bought the elite. Yes, DT, your electronics upgrades were useless, and they were really, really expensive. But a claim's a claim, I suppose. Off-world markets are making 1,000 a second. That is some serious bucks.
Advanced our production.
And El Capitan is very soon going to be seeing the benefits of those off-world markets. The elite is going to be a powerhouse, especially with all these farms and all the upgrades that it's got, and it's launching well. It has 3 off-world markets, but One's broken. So still pretty darn good. I think the El Capitan probably needs to buy that share of Trats just to raise his stock price a little bit. And it looks to me, perhaps, yeah, I mean, Yerand is making fantastic money for Trat as a sub. And the Elite at the moment isn't making so much for El Capitan, but as soon as we get these food launches off, that's going to be a huge jump in the money that El Capitan receives as a sub. Trat has got slightly higher share price, but El Capitan is about 140k ahead. And he's stretching that lead a little bit more every time. I think, barring some unforeseen circumstances, El Capitan is probably going to take this. That shock shift buy on Death Tacticus has really paid off for him. He's about 10% between them at the moment. 20% between them now.
Methods continue to improve.
Going to be quite a close race. Yaran, the sub, appears to be making nearly 300k a second, whereas El Capitan is actually receiving half that as his subsidiary, but he does have about 100k, about 50k cash advantage now. Trat's pulling back. Trat actually might come and take this. Yep, I think we're probably seeing Trat winning this one. The share price, I think, is going to win out, and the sub money. The Elite's been very slow to improve as a sub.
Look at all the money.
The black market is online.
Now it's up and producing, but that stock price difference is going to be the difference between El Capitan taking the win and Trat taking the win. Trat there, red button any second now, and in the end it wasn't as close. There it is. Trat wins another one. Well done, Trat. Wow, an exciting game. Very surprised the Elite didn't power on through there. Sol 12, wow. GG, well played guys, well played. Interesting game. The Offworld's not making as much money as I thought they would be. El Capitan really making the money on the steel at the end there. Wow, not often you see steel as the biggest profit centre. Possibly needs to use a little bit more black market. Yeah, as you see the dividend revenue, Trat making double the dividend of El Capitan. Fortunately, perhaps that dynamite on the Offworld will be really expensive, I think, to repair that Offworld given the price of steel, so maybe making the sub repair the Offworld slowed it down enough so that dividend revenue was pretty significantly different. Yeah, production and sales. DT being very bold, not going, well, purchasing a little bit of iron, but not really making any steel at all. Capitan. A quick look at the black market. Capitan, hologram, a network virus, 2 goon squads. Everybody else, plenty of black market. Death Tacticus, well, the arrival. Yerand did feel the brunt of Trat's black market attentions early on. The Elite, as expected, taking the majority of the optimizations. Trats with a broad spectrum there. The Capitan even getting in the game on some of them. A little bit surprised it didn't really make it into the food market, I don't think. Patents didn't really make much of a difference this game, I don't think. Superconductor obviously doing great work for El Capitan with that geothermal. And GG. Possibly call it an end there. So, have a quick look at the old spreadsheets. So we're just waiting now for... Oh, the series game has just finished with Dermas winning. So, how does that work out? Well, let's let Boosted Pleasure Domes have easily taken it 50 points, 50.7 to Desperate Housewives 39.2. Series Cavemen third place on 19, and 18 bringing up the rear with 14. So, GG, well done to Boosted Pleasure Domes. Congratulations. Come on, congratulations everybody. Thank you very much all for playing. Thank you very much to Zoltar and Philothantic, Paulina, and everybody else, and Rahi of course, who's done some fantastic artwork for it. Thank you all very much for all your help and for playing in the tournament. It's been great fun. Hopefully everybody's enjoyed it. Cool. Right, I think that pretty much wraps it up from me. I think all the games have finished. They certainly have. Excellent. Good game, everybody who played. Thank you very much for your participation, and I shall catch you another time.
In
Your-
four-person matches.
Your expected value win rate, all things being equal, is only 25%
Exactly.
per game.
So, now that said, Trat absolutely destroyed that and completely ruined it. But oh boy. Oh man. Well, one of the goals of this, by the way, with doing it on the Stardock stream, was to be able to do prizes associated with it. I'm going to have to decide, probably with you later, Philothenic, how we want to go about that and what we want them to be.
Okay.
My hope is at minimum, I want to award the best player on the team that won, the one with the most wins. But I'll want to do a little bit more than that. Hopefully, I'll be able to talk about that more on Thursday. But I don't have anything specific to announce related to it at this moment, for a variety of reasons. But we'll figure it out, and I'll probably be in touch with people who have performed well, and be talking to them about it. So be on the lookout.
If you're on Boosted Pleasure Domes, particularly.
Yeah, if you did well on Boosted Pleasure Domes, be on the lookout for some messages from me in the coming week. That said, yeah, I do think Trad is 100% on series, as Year End says. That was our last game of the tournament. We've been running this for a whole month now.
Yeah, the biggest tournament we've ever attempted in Off-World Trading Company.
The most games by far. I mean, there were 67 games played, I think.
Yep, with 4 players in each game.
Maybe more. Maybe there were more bonus matches than that. Maybe 68 games or so, close to 70, whatever. I am tied for number of wins with Soren, says Gameslay. Well, that happened, I guess, is what I'll say about it. But that does wrap up the tournament for us. I am not sure what plans are in the future for other tournaments, but I would expect at least some kind of break after 4 weeks in a row.
There will be a break. We will still, once again in the future, have a new players tournament just for everybody who has recently picked up Off-World Trading Company, wants to get into the competitive multiplayer scene, but didn't feel like running into Trat or DT or Blues or Paulina.
Always a scary prospect. 1v1 tournament tomorrow.
We do have a way to ramp in new players, and then we'll probably have a 1v1 tournament of some sort in the
Absolutely.
future too. But yeah, not for at least 2, if not 3 weeks.
And of course, if you missed any of the tournament, you want to go back and see other bits of it. VODs are available, I believe, some on. I think they're actually all on. Or at least most of them are on the Stardock Twitch channel. 3 of them are, I think, at this point. Maybe all of them. Anyway. And then, of course, over on your YouTube channel, Philothanic.
Yes, my
you've been
YouTube
posting
channel.
them.
Just search for Philothanic on YouTube. You will find it. The link's too long to think about posting. The rest of them that I've casted will get up there eventually. Morgan's also casted about the same number of games that you have, Zoltar. He's having a little bit of issue getting them over to YouTube, but they are saved on his Twitch profile and will get over there. And then I know a handful of players have streamed their own perspectives. There's plenty of Off-World Trading Company content from this tournament to look at
And
and analyze.
I imagine a lot of it's going to be gathered together on the Discord as well. So
Yes, it will. Once it's all up on YouTube, which will probably take 3 weeks in and of itself,
yeah,
it'll be a nice link on the Discord server under the tournament archives where you can go back and watch every single saved Off-World Trading Company tournament match since the dawn of early access.
should be fun.
Not many games. You can't say that about many competitive games.
That's true. There's oh boy, that is a lot of Off-World to be watching though. So
I
I would
wouldn't
encourage you to
suggest
focus
doing
on,
it
on the more
because
recent
the
stuff.
patches have made things way different.
Yeah. Maybe stick to the last few months as it turns out. But hey, if you want to go back and delve into that history, you can. Okay. Well, I think that's just about going to wrap us up for the day. Is there anything else that we need to cover, Philothanic, that we haven't gotten to yet?
No, just thanking everybody who's helped behind the scenes for the tournament. Morgan and I for co-administrating it, and obviously all our casters for casting, and then the players for being willing to participate.
Absolutely, because I think we actually finished each and every game, because we always managed to find enough substitutes to
Yes,
actually
and
get the game to happen.
double thanks last week for both Soren and Various Varley for actually subbing on short notice when
Yeah.
we didn't have enough players.
Very, very kind of them. Okay, well, I don't know what's planned for the stream coming up on Thursday, but I do know there is a plan for one over on twitch.tv/Mohawk Games. Who knows what's going to happen? You guys have been showing up for the tournament matches with those. We might just take a week off from that and do some more standard community queued stuff.
There aren't any
But-
more tournament games.
Exactly. So we're going to take a break from organized matches, I should say, and
A
do
chance
some
to get
basic-
your Beat Zoltar achievement.
yeah, that'll be pretty easy after all these tournament games where I haven't been playing. So definitely encourage you to show up on Thursday for that. All right. With that, I'm going to start getting wrapped up. So I guess I will talk to you probably whenever we've got the next tournament rolling around, Philothanic.
Yep, always a pleasure, Zoltar.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming out again today. Okay, guys. That wraps us up for this one. Both the tournament and the stream, as I said, Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern is when we do our standard twitch.tv/Mohawk Games stream. You can show up, come out, get your Beat Zoltar achievement, and maybe eventually we'll be able to twist Soren's arm again, get him to show up so you can get your achievement for beating him too. But for now, we're going to wrap it up. So thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you next time.